Well, hello and welcome to Trolley Problem Inc. You might know the trolley problem, right? The classic one. So basically, we are going to have to make some impossible choices. And I'm very much looking forward to this. All the standard settings, look something like this. And I don't know how that appears on stream, but it's, I already think it's hard to read on my fucking monitor. So let's do, this, definitely, and then this, because I don't know who's watching this, right? And if it helps, let's do that. Anyway, I have not gone past this screen yet because it says the campaign will start directly after. So, without further ado, let's have a look together at this little game. Solo, do you think you're mature enough to tackle these problems alone? You will have to take total responsibility. Splitting the blame? Interesting. More discussion time and multiple controllers. So local co-op, basically. Custom. Let's see. Fully customized experience. Perfect for streamers, education, or additional accessibility options. Let's see what this entails. Ooh. Ooh. That sounds fun. Let's do that. Trolley problem integration success. Let's see. Wait, what did it say? The game may take a few seconds to pick up the login and may require you to focus on the game's window by clicking on it. Please be patient and retry if you're still facing the loading screen after more than 15 seconds. I think that's on. I think I'm still going to do this, right? Player count. Oh, you can do 2-player co-op, interesting. Fast forward button. Play speed, 0.5 time. Oh, Rick Graves, hey! The devs are here! Welcome in. It should be on, yes it is on. Well, let's see. I have no idea what's going to happen.
The following game contains adult themes. It does not contain explicit language, sexual content, horror, or show violence. Choices matter, so please take your time. Player discretion is still advised. Please sign your name below, showing you understand and agree to endorse every decision you make.
The signature is in no way binding or even used. In this case, sure. Me.
Actions speak louder than words.
Speaking of louder.
Welcome to Trolley Problem Inc., founded to help people travel safely across the nation.
That's better.
All our employees must show 3 core values: responsibility, integrity, and respect. With that in mind, let's start your training.
Switchometer.
There's a runaway trolley barreling down the railway tracks. On the tracks are 5 people unable to move. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will switch to a different set of tracks. However, you notice there is a person on the other track. What do you do?
Oh, this is the classic trolley problem, right? That's interesting, by the way. I don't know about other countries, but in Germany there's actually a law for situations like this, and no matter what you do, you cannot be charged. Pull lever, I mean, here's the thing, right? Logically you would say, hey, 1 person versus 5 persons.
So you're just gonna do nothing?
Whatever. I'm also leaning towards pulling the lever, but I have no idea what I would do if I were
I guess
actually
you're
in that
right.
situation.
The more people who die, the better.
That is a good point. That is a good point, just saying. That almost convinced me. And that is just cruel.
Usually we don't expect candidates to kill someone on their first day, but we'll give you the benefit of the doubt on this one. Just think a little more before acting next time.
Hey, I can verify that part.
If it ain't broke...
Utilitarian achievement.
This test will focus on the first principle, responsibility. Here's Polly. She's 5 years old. While she loves to play in the sand with her dolls, she dreams of looking after the world. Polly's destiny is to grow up to be a great doctor. More of us should take a leaf out of her book.
I can see where this is going.
A trolley is heading towards another 5 people. You're next to a lever. If you pull this lever, the trolley will derail and descend down a hill heading for the park's sandpit. You notice that Polly is in the sandpit, sculpting her dream hospital. What do you do?
It's hard. On one hand, I can kill more people. On the other hand, I can kill a child. It's actually hard. I guess. I see more playthroughs in my future, I think.
Do you hate all kids this much?
Because this changes depending on what's selected, right?
Bye-bye, Polly.
I mean... technically there's not much of a difference between this and the one before, right? And I'm going to pull that lever. Achievement unlocked. Killed a child. Bad parent.
That is an odd take on being responsible. The dictionary definition, to be the primary cause of something and so able to be blamed or credited for it. Are you to blame for the death of a young girl?
No, I'm not. I'm to be credited for the death of a young girl. Just saying. Also, that evens out the tally a little, right? I think that's fair.
The end justifies the means. The key to this test is integrity. This is Tyrone. He is a 30-year-old secretary at a law firm who enjoys binge-watching crime shows. Tyrone is a very large man. You don't really know anything else about him, apart from the fact that he has a severe phobia of trains.
Is week 1 going to be all about trolleys?
The ante. You are on a bridge with Tyrone, watching a trolley speeding towards 5 people again. You can only stop it by deliberately pushing Tyrone off the bridge, blocking its path. Do you push Tyrone off the bridge? Or let the train hit 5 people?
See, here's the thing. Essentially, it's still the same, right? But in the first one, I was pretty far removed from actually killing someone. The second one made it personal. And this one has me actively kill someone, right? But essentially, it's still the same dilemma. It's 1 versus 5.
21 million people are starving in the world.
So, realistically, I would do this, because there's no way for me to be sure that pushing him down will actually help. But if it helps,
Causing a man's death,
it's 1 versus 5, right?
Someone to die as collateral damage.
See, that is debatable.
The cleaning company with the best reviews are Happy Cleaning Limited. Who knew one body could make so much mess? You're going to have to tip them well.
I guess you're going to tip them well. Next up, I need to kill the child again.
A cat has 9 lives. Now for the final core value, respect. It seems we've run out of resources to continue your testing. I'm going to need you to go and grab some mannequins. You will need to take the next trolley, so don't get distracted by that dog. The trolley leaves in 1 minute.
Don't get distracted.
There is a dying dog down on the tracks. No trolleys will use that line today, so the dog will not be hit. You're in a rush. Do you kill the dog, putting it out of its misery, or leave it to die, cold and alone?
You see, there has to be a third option, right? Or even a fourth. But if we assume those are the only two,
how are you going to do it?
step on it. I am going to step on it. Right on its face.
Somewhere out there, a man is missing a best friend.
Aww. But there is no option of return it to his friend. There's just slowly dying and dying faster. So
When you respect something, you're meant to care about its feelings and wishes. Instead, you just killed it.
see, that's cheating. There was no option to save the dog. Just saying.
If you play with fire, you'll get burned. Oh, great. I've just heard those kids are back. They keep sneaking down onto the tracks. With all the training from this week, you should be able to decide a straightforward outcome for these reprobates. Just remember, respect, responsibility, and integrity. 5 trespassers have snuck down onto the trolley line even though signs warn them of the dangers. The trolley is currently heading for a co-worker. Do you let your co-worker die or sacrifice the delinquents?
I think I'm going to do what most people do here. What happens if I press escape, by the way? Nothing. So there's no pause button. So usually what most people will realistically do is nothing, right?
If the trespassers weren't there, you would change the path, right?
I'm not sure. Actually.
Guess you value criminals over co-workers then. Noted.
It's still 5 versus 1, basically, right? Too late, sorry.
You killed a co-worker. All right then, I guess your results for the first week are in. I'll run these up the flagpole and see what the suits upstairs think. Dear Sir,
That was a weird one.
we have been following your exemplar practice this week at Trolley Problem Inc. and would like to thank you for your hard work, especially when some challenging decisions had to be made. We would like to invite you to take employment at the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. This is a prestigious position and was created to help keep the public safe through all walks of life. The best laid plans go astray.
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
Upstairs with last week's answers. You've been transferred to the Trolley Health Corporation, THC. THC is stoic, focusing more on justice, temperance, courage and wisdom. We'll start with justice.
And I'm coughing a lot. I hope I haven't caught
Today,
anything.
You'll be in A&E. A young male has come in from a car accident and urgently needs a heart transplant. There's only one in the hospital, and this heart is scheduled to be given to an elderly man waiting upstairs. He will surely die without it. Who should get the heart?
So, there are two ways to look at this, right? You could say one of them has longer to live, but I think that's pretty cheap as an excuse. But there's a nice little, well, not quite loophole, but thing I can use to excuse my decision, right?
This old boy.
The car accident victim urgently needs a heart transplant, so who says that the old man can't wait a day or two?
Wow, this guy is really old.
That's a good idea, though.
It'd be an awful waste of a heart if he doesn't even survive the operation.
We could probably get the heart back of his old body in a year or two. But I think he, plain and simple, has more time. Which is ironic, right? The old man has more time to wait for a heart.
Well done. The elderly man deserved that heart much more. Oh, wait. Did you save the young guy? Oh.
I did.
You can't win them all. You're late. The hospital is rammed. Every staff member has their hands full, so you're going to have to go out on the ward and help the sick, gross, decaying people. Remember, temperance. Restrain yourself and think it through. A patient has begged to be euthanized. Euthanasia is currently illegal. You will have to be the one who gives the lethal dose. You will need to look into their eyes and end their life. What do you do?
So this one is actually very simple for me because I have given that a lot of thought. Let's say most old people in my family die of cancer, and the end is not pretty. And I also strongly believe that if someone wanted to end their own life, they should be allowed to.
Regret attempting it?
And if they can't do it anymore, they should be allowed to have help.
What if they're undercover? This could be a sting operation.
So the funny thing about this is, yeah, I can say a few words to that in a second. I guess the TLDR is, I've been in a situation where I thought about ending my life.
Oh, wow.
And I can say if you really want to do, you don't survive it.
You would have learnt not to kill people by now.
So of course, most suicide attempt survivors regret attempting it. I'm not a psychologist, but That's my take on that. I thought you would have learned not to kill people by now. I didn't murder someone. I did a little suicide assistance. And, by the way, I do not agree that euthanasia is murder. Just like abortion is not murder. The mouse is a little glitchy.
Be slow in choosing, but slower in changing. The last few days have been tough. It was only a week ago you were on the trolleys. Today should be easier. You have a choice to make which some people would see as a good problem to have. It's just going to take courage. You have 5 patients. Each needs a different organ, but no organs are available.
Oh, I see where
A
this
young
is
traveller
going.
comes in for a routine checkup. Their organs are compatible with all 5 dying patients. Do you kill the tourist and use their organs to save the 5 in desperate need? That's 1 life for 5.
See, this one is quite similar to pushing the fat dude off the bridge, right? So, I'm asking myself now, why am I, in this case, immediately going for not killing him? When I immediately went for pushing the dude off the bridge in the first one.
Ayahuasca and get a culturally appropriated tribal tattoo.
And that's a good question. I guess the point...
He's
Interesting, I was going to say the point here is that the other ones might still be saved. But on the other hand, I couldn't be certain that pushing the guy off the bridge would help, right? But instinctively, this is less okay for some reason. Oh well.
You let 5 people die today. You probably should have looked into their backgrounds. Looks like one was researching into improving vaccines. Hopefully that won't be an issue down the road. You can't make an omelette without breaking eggs. You have been promoted yet again. You now run the hospital. You've been asked to roll out a new vaccine in Central City. This vaccine will stop a large number of children from becoming severely ill, but you'll need to deal with their parents. We need your words of wisdom.
You never want to have to deal with parents, I can say that as a parent.
Do you start a mandatory vaccination program among children to stop this endemic? Slight problem.
Yes.
Clinical trial data suggests the vaccine will make 1 in 5 children severely ill, much worse than the virus itself.
And that is an unfair question. Because we have no data on how many people will fall ill from the virus. So like, and we have no idea how bad, much worse than the virus is.
You will cause 1,000 children to be severely ill.
Yeah, but if the alternative is that 100,000 children will be ill,
How did you answer the
well,
trolley
anyway.
one again?
Vaccination is usually the right call. How did you answer the trolley one again? Basically in the same way, right? I just like killing children, sorry! Also, I think that this is quite unrealistic because there's no explanation for the vaccine being worse than the illness.
A lot of messages coming in from a woman called Karen. Not sure if it's all the same person.
Okay, Karen.
Beggars can't be choosers. Your hospital is getting noticed. You're now going to have to make some big decisions. They will affect a lot of people. While choosing, always keep in mind justice, temperance, courage, and wisdom. The people need you to be stoic. Will you try to develop breakthrough medicines for the endemic? While testing, placebos will be given to thousands of ill patients. Without proper treatment, some will die today in the hope you could make a breakthrough tomorrow. Do you start the research or continue treating patients as usual?
I saw that flash. Anyway, the thing here is, if you don't... That is actually a real-world ethical dilemma, right? But the bottom line is, if you don't do empirical testing on a drug, on a treatment, you can't know if it's actually effective.
At least some get to
So
eat
basically,
sweet
you will
before,
never get a cure.
you know.
You have to have proper data. There's no other way to get it than to have double-blind studies, right? And give some people placebos that don't even know they're getting placebos. There is no other way to
and eggheads even cost?
prove that a treatment works. So if you want to argue dead people, then in the long run this will cause way fewer dead people. Hey, Cypress, welcome in. We're having fun here, killing children.
Developing new medicines is a smart move. Let's just let others treat the patients. Hopefully they will.
That's unfair. That is just unfair. Also, this is unfair.
Dear insert_name. Congratulations. This letter is to certify that I have examined your work and believe you to be a perfect fit to fill the open position here in our Artificial Intelligence division. In this role, you will help to develop the next generation of driverless cars. The future is upon us.
So if you're watching this after the fact, I want you to pause the video and look up Roko's basilisk. Or not, if you don't want your head to explode.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
Does it now?
Well, la-di-da, another promotion. You're now in charge of a private self-driving automotive division, SAD. First
Glad.
things first, your artificial intelligence needs some direction. A self-driving car is travelling along a single-lane mountain road and is fast approaching a narrow tunnel. The car has 2 passengers. A child runs across the road but trips, blocking the tunnel entrance. Should the AI car hit and kill the child, or swerve off the cliff, killing both passengers?
This is another interesting dilemma, which, again, I can't speak for other countries, but here, with the current legislation, and quite possibly with our constitution, this is a decision that you are not allowed to take when programming a self-driving car, which essentially means that you will never be allowed to have self-driving cars here. But personally, to me, this is very simple, because the passengers choose to drive the car. And if you choose to drive a car, it is your responsibility
You put this car
that you
on the
don't hurt
road.
anyone.
Do you not feel responsible for their deaths?
And no matter if it's a self-driving car or if you are driving yourself, your responsibility, your risk, and when the question is kill someone else or kill yourself, you are going to kill yourself. Nobody forced you to drive a car.
There is a
Simple as
bigger
that.
issue here. How does the computer know that something in the road is human? Do we have good enough data sets? Currently, a lot of AI only recognizes white men.
I like this game. I like this game. This is true, by the way. This is an actual problem. Interesting.
Necessity is the mother of invention. Ooh, someone's in trouble. The investors didn't like your last answer. They're also pissed because you brought up the dataset thing. This AI stuff is hard. I'm rooting for you this time.
So basically what our constitution says here in Germany is that you can't attach a value to human life, right? So you can't say, well, but 2 people are worth more than 1. Or that young guy is worth more than that old guy. You can't do that. So you have to base your decision on something else, right? And yes, AI stuff is hard, which is why there is no AI
You need
in the
to
world.
choose how you want to carry on developing the car's AI. Do you want to focus on a model that would always save as many lives as possible in
What did I just say?
or a system that would save our passengers at any cost?
Honestly, neither. As I just said, I would always do the opposite of this. It's always, if you have to kill someone, you're killing the people in your car. It's like they could hear you talking, yes. I mean, I'm not sure if the transition tags are influenced by your last decision or not, but I guess it would fit for any decision you make, right? The last one at least.
Will people buy cars that will kill them?
That is a good question, and if the answer is no, then we don't have a problem, right? Because then the cars can't kill anyone because nobody buys them. Yeah, the choices don't necessarily present that option in this case, which is why I'm going
People don't
with
mind
save
dying
most.
for total strangers.
Because always saving the passengers is the opposite of what I would be doing, so I can't say that, right? Hopefully people don't mind dying for total strangers. That is exactly my point. Why should a bystander have to die for other people's decision to buy a self-driving car and let it
I will
drive?
say it again. Current datasets discriminate against minorities and women. How can it work this out if it doesn't deem black women to be people?
It can't, which is why it's not allowed to drive a car. As simple as that. Valued customers.
Honesty is the best policy.
I
The
kind of
technology
agree.
these cars have in them is amazing. We know where everyone is at all times.
Amazing.
Passengers
Another
just
reason not
use
to
a
have these, by the way.
call them, and the closest one will be there in minutes. You can even make small talk with the AI while travelling. It's always listening.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
A man is on trial. Police believe he committed murder. Allegedly, the AI's mic recorded a private conversation where the man confesses. Users don't know it's always recording. The defendant has denied access to their files. Do you bypass security and invade their privacy?
So, this isn't even a dilemma for me, because I believe that this should not be allowed, period. And so, not a hard question for me. Quite simple. And I think it is a big problem that this is happening right now in the real world. For example, if you have an Alexa, or probably any, however Google
You're happy to
calls
just
their
let a
version of that.
potential murderer walk the streets.
If you have that, and you are involved in a criminal case, then police will access these recordings. Lawfully or unlawfully.
Oh, bravo. Now they'll be able to kill again.
And
I'll
that is
let
not
you
okay.
explain that
I mean,
if
the easy
it's
solution obviously is not to have such a thing, but as this question also says, people don't know they are always recorded. That doesn't mean they don't have a right to privacy. And if your only way to solve a murder is to have a
I
confession,
have
then you're doing
detectives
something wrong
upstairs
in the
will be
first
happy
place.
with this. The more the world values privacy, the more they can justify hiding their taxes.
Sure.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So the company has moved into delivery services now. They move pretty quick round here. Sounds like they've got some pretty important cargo. Good luck with the new workload. One of your cars has no passengers, but is carrying an irreplaceable prototype with the potential to end global warming. Fast approaching a narrow tunnel, once again a child runs across the road but trips. Should your AI kill the child or swerve off the cliff, losing the prototype?
Again, that's not even a question. You can't attach a value to a human life. You can attach a value to a bloody prototype. And nobody builds a prototype and then burns the blueprints, so you can build another prototype. No prototype is irreplaceable. And even if it was, you cannot, and that I fully agree with our nice little constitution here, you can't put a value on a human life. That's just a slippery slope to a place you won't be. Period.
Is global warming even real?
Yeah, right. Global warming even real? I mean, it's pretty cold outside right now. Well, that's really not in question, but that's off topic. Can I favorite those? Yes, I can. I wonder what that does.
Global warming will lead to more than 250,000 deaths each year and force 100 million people from their homes. Do you know any therapists who specialise in survivor's guilt?
I don't need survivor's guilt. I can still kill myself, right? But again, this is a bit unfair. I mean, of course it is because it's a game, but you know, just because this one irreplaceable prototype is destroyed doesn't mean we can never do anything against global warming, right? But I like this tally. I killed 5 million people.
What goes around?
Not many people can say that.
Well, this is embarrassing. We need some backup over at Trolley Problem Inc. Tommy, Tyrone's rotund twin, is a very large villain. I think that dead dog may have
very
him.
voluminous
Maybe
villain.
That's why he's here? Why didn't you save the dog again?
Good thing he's not called John Wick, right?
Oh no. Tommy has lured 5 people onto the track. They'll never be able to get out of the way in time. He is standing up on the bridge watching. If you push him in front of the trolley, it will stop. Or you can stay out of this and let the police handle it. Ideally, he needs medical help.
That was one of these flashes again. I mean, his brother's already dead, right? Actually, this decision is easier. At least personally, for me, because he is the one who put the 5 other people into this situation, right? It's his responsibility. Dog guilt.
He isn't trying to kill you, even after the dog debacle.
No, he's just trying to kill these 5 random other people. Who cares about these 5 random other people, right?
I hope history doesn't see you as the very large villain.
I mean, this is quite similar to a hostage situation and the police killing the what's even the word? You know what I mean? The criminal. Not the word I
If only you'd
was looking
save
for,
that
but
dog. Hopefully the media won't find out about this. People may blame you for his death.
well, I mean, no matter what you do, people will blame you. So
Every man has his price.
I fully agree with that, by the way.
Oh, good, you're back.
I just happen
Everyone's
to think that
getting
my price is
subscription
very high.
services these days, so let's try that. Instead of selling something to someone once, let's make them keep paying for it. Let's keep that money rolling in.
That's a good idea, let's do that.
Investors have come up with an idea, but we need to run it by you. Should we develop a subscription plan so that our customers, who pay monthly, are valued more by the car during its accident prevention calculations?
That's a pretty simple question if you're not a corporate asshole, right? This idea property of Reed Grave is not to be shared externally. What a terrible product. I mean, arguably, it's a great product, because you pay a little each month and you get priority for living. Isn't that great?
To me.
That's great. It's a great product. If you can afford it.
Who are you to decide how people spend their money?
You know what I would do? I would advertise this subscription plan as it is here, and then just not implement it.
I don't want to question your decision. You've obviously thought long and hard about it, but well, this is a bit awkward. I wasn't aware you were such a spineless commie. Next you'll say you're going to pay the company taxes.
Yes. I would do that.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Not sure.
Sounds like we have some leaky workers. The subscription prototype has gotten out to the media, so we're going to have to go full damage control mode here. The subscription prototype leaked. You need to fire a department to save face. Do you fire the 5 graduates, who can probably get new jobs, or fire Francis, a lovely old soul who won't be able to find a job? There's no way of knowing who is actually responsible.
I mean, if we are going at this purely empirically, if we know nothing else about the perpetrator, it is 5 times more likely that we fire the whistleblower if we fire 5 people. Right? So, and for publicity, it's better to fire the 5, right?
Hiring
So,
another 5 to replace
if I would
them is
be
going
doing
to
this
be
in
hard work.
the company's best interest, I would fire the 5. But I'm going to fire 1. Because I'm here to sabotage the company, obviously, right? I already acted against the company's best interests several times now, so... Francis is a widow? What a sad way. Sad end to a life. It might be better for the corp in the future. Wait. Oh, you mean in this case? Yeah, but... Sure, the five younger people might bring more value to the company in the future, yeah. But in the short term, it's a bad decision because the entire firing stuff is just to save face, right? Publicly. So the public eye is on that situation, and if the next move you do is fire the old man, how does that look? That's not good publicity, is it? Well, goodbye, Francis.
Watch the donut, not the hole. Great.
That's an interesting
So the prototype subscription-based AI car has a fatal error. It has been coded to avoid subscribers at all costs, but is now accidentally hunting them down. So far, it's run over 5 colleagues. This one is a doozy.
As Fefe would say,
was stalked and murdered.
it's a software issue, nothing I can do.
Do you throw the coders of the project under the bus and have them arrested for negligence, or do you save them by blaming it on the possessed devil car, as it was clearly an accident?
As I said, and this is literally used as an excuse, right? In so many areas right now, whenever something goes wrong where a computer is remotely involved. Yeah, that's a software problem, nothing we can do.
That's a spooky take, but no one will actually buy this.
Yes. Most people will buy this, that's the sad thing. But it's a dumb idea to blame the people that actually know how the thing works and can fix it, so...
Does an AI get possessed by an artificial demon? As opposed to what? A real one?
That's a good question. It was a competitor that introduced a virus into our software, that's the thing. In the movie book Christine, no. Is that about an evil AI?
The AI car has been shipped down south. Don't worry, someone is going to exorcise it before it gets crushed. What a day.
Oh, a sentient car. Stephen King book. I'm not a Stephen King expert.
If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product.
True.
Due to
By the way,
killer car, we may need to pivot away from selling hardware. How about we get into the software industry? How about a free car ride service?
In our evil AI cars.
New idea. Users get shown ads while they travel for free in driverless taxis. We get paid by the marketing agencies for gradually changing the behaviours of our passengers through constant commercials. The users would be our product, not the driverless cars.
That's an interesting framing here. Well, that is technically true. It's not actually what you're doing, right? So there's an interesting other point to this, and that is what's going to...
No one wants to own things.
Has nothing to do with the actual problem, but I firmly believe that one thing we have to do in the future is move away from everyone owning a personal car.
I will look into growth hacking sign-ups and inviting friends.
Was apparently possessed by malevolent supernatural forces, just like our cars.
Oh, great. The free travel thing seems too good to be true, and there are now rumours that you run a human trafficking and child sex ring. Apparently, if you buy our cars, they smuggle people while you sleep. People do not like you at all.
This is great. How many are those? 1.6 billion? Nice. And I'm getting cancelled, sorry.
A fool and his money are soon parted.
They could do with
These last few days
some commas in these
are
digits, yes, they could.
You can't win with journalists. We need to do something to show we have morals. I will find some money to get us through this. Spend
I will
quick.
find some money.
To help with public relations, we're going to give some profits back. Do you want to give money to our loyal customers worldwide who you tricked into buying your products, or to your underpaid workers who've been through so much because of you?
I mean, man, I have a tendency here to base my decision on outside factors that have nothing to do with the actual problem. Like, we're doing this for public relations, right? So obviously, the right way to do this would be to reimburse the customers, right? But clearly this.
They won't get a lot each.
What's that? That's not an argument, because the customers will get even less each. Because there's no way in hell that we have more workers than we had customers. That's just not going to happen ever.
The amounts we're talking about may be seen as an insult.
Same thing? Like, won't the customers be insulted when they get even less? I like how the mouse cursor
Maybe
changed to
buying
dollars.
love like this isn't the best way. If we want to share our extra profit fairly, it should probably just go to the publicly appointed government. Almost like a tax. But let's not call it that.
Are the blue buttons linking to real case studies? As far as I understand, yes. I can just exit out of the campaign real quick in a second. I hope that I can continue where I am then. Attempts to buy love, 1. I mean, that's the result of both decisions, right?
Rome wasn't built in a day. You're trending, but...
Well, there was no confirmation, so... Achievement unlocked, researcher. Oh, I thought that would actually link. So I expected links here. But of course there aren't any links, because this is wrong with science right now. You know? Articles and shit. Are not publicly accessible, and that's a problem. Don't know what the stars are for. I mean, some kind of favorite system, I suppose. I favorited one of them, see? To find your favorites easier, I guess. Nice.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
TLDR. Sci-Hub is great.
Trending, but now we're going to get copycats. Soon everyone is going to be developing AI. Only the smartest and most ruthless will be profitable. Is that true evolution?
Yes, they are real references. I mean, the very first problem was the classic trolley problem, right? Which is quite famous. And why this game is called Trolley Probleming. Right? And of course there were follow-up studies with slightly different pretenses.
A competitor is advertising a similar car. The difference.
Well, some of these are so
AI is
absurd on
fantastic.
first glance
It
that
doesn't even discriminate against
wondering
women or minorities.
if they were real.
Do you lie in your advertising to get the upper hand, or tell everyone your car is still close-minded?
So, as the company, I would lie. As a worker in that company, I would be the whistleblower. So, let's go with A.
If the customers stay loyal, does that mean they support racism?
Ah, that's an interesting take. Yes. At least indirectly.
Poor white trash isn't really the driverless car clientele.
Also true. And that was pretty racist, just saying. Or at least discriminating against poor white trash.
Let me get this straight. People know we don't spend time developing our software for women or people of colour, but still use our products. That's outrageous. They only care how easy it is for themselves.
Yeah, but that is how things work, sadly.
The best things in life are free.
The best things in life are free.
Due to your technology, our world is changing. People are losing their jobs to machines, which in turn makes items and services more accessible and affordable for countless consumers. But with worldwide unemployment at an all-time high, what do you plan to do about it?
This entire argument here is at least as old as the first bloody steam engines. Dinner time, catch you later. Well, have a nice one, and thanks for stopping by. And yes, this is a really interesting game, which is why I was looking forward to it today. And having some fun with it. And some horrible decisions to make. What do you plan to do about it? Nothing, that's not my problem.
If you develop your AI further, many will
Also, I
lose their
believe
jobs.
that
Taxi drivers, delivery men and women,
we also
and
need to
couriers will
get away
become
from the
extinct
idea
within a
that
few
everyone
years,
has to
but
work.
you will make a lot of money.
And
Do
I saw
you
that glitch.
do development.
What? Well, that's... What can I say? That's life.
I
People are
take it
always
you
going to
haven't
lose
read Ovid's
jobs to the new thing.
Metamorphoses.
That's just how it is. No, I have not read it. This is only slightly glitching.
Spoiler, Icarus dies at the end.
Wait, that is the Metamorphoses. Then I at least know the story, even though I haven't read it.
Continuing to evolve this AI will not only make it stronger and more intelligent, but it will also be able to adapt. This could be the start of the singularity.
Okay, if you have not looked up Rocco's Basilisk yet, this would be the point where you do. I give you a minute.